I know that ain't.
Right. We gonna get to it though, man. Why do you think black women wear bonnets in public and shit?
You said, why do I think black women are what?
Why do you think black women wear bonnets in public?
I mean, sometimes we just don't feel like, sprucing everything up. We just like walking outside, handling our day to day errands. And sometimes people will give you that weird stare, but it's just like, if you know, you know. Because it's like sometimes people do have a thing where they want to perfectionize everything and want to be everything in the eyes of other people. But when people just want to be themselves and walk outside and get their business handled, everybody don't want to do that. So it's just like the same thing when you wake up in the morning, get yourself together, and go about your day. And that's the same thing when a woman chooses to wear a bonnet outside. That's like her, throwing on some and going out and handling her business. Eventually, she will come home and get her stuff together and handle whatever else she got to do.
Man, you'll be surprised, like the fact that I asked a female this, like, bro, we got into a shouting match. I eventually hang up on her, like, she was so offended because I asked her about bonnets. Like, she
I
started
feel like that's probably because the stereotype around men and women having normal conversations is very just, what's the word for it? It's very,
unnormal. It's like it's
yeah, unnormal. It's like when people think of a man
taboo,
and a woman
taboo.
having a conversation, people be like, oh, they about to argue about this. Oh, they about to argue about this. When really it could just be so simple. Like, we are people. We are all people. We can have conversations about day to day things, about whatever
Right,
the topic may be, without it having
right.
to be, I'm
Well,
defensive about a topic that wants to be learned about.
like, I think we're in a generation now where if we disagree, like, it's fuck you and it's fuck you, or it's an
Literally.
argument or whatever. I can,
Like,
I could like apple pie, you could like cherry pie, and it's
right.
fuck Jay Reed because he don't like apple cherry pie.
No, the apple juice and orange juice. Oh, you don't like apple juice? You know what? It's over for you now.
Right.
Like, it is
And
just gonna
it's
be
funny
like
because
that.
this is what I realized when you got women beat when they use insults, guilt, and shame. She started insulting my hairline. Was for that my hairline actually.
Wow.
She's
Yeah, that
oh
just that just shows she got some issues going on with herself.
yeah. So she started insulting my hairline. This is what I realized when you got a point though, and they have nothing else to beat you. They're gonna do
Hmm.
insults, guilt, and shame you
Right.
because they start bringing up slavery. They always want to bring up slavery. What the hell slavery got to do with this shit?
Honestly, people of color that bring up slavery must not like actually know the history. We sold our own people into that for goods, for stuff that we needed. So it's not like white people had like told us, oh, you know what? We're just gonna put y'all into this little colonization, do this to y'all, do that to y'all. It's not like we just had to agree with it without no feedback, no nothing. We gave our people to them.
Facts. Facts. And people want to realize there's only a small percentage of white people who were slave owners if they actually
Right.
did. But yeah, the same people who talk about that, I'm pretty sure she's having sex with a criminal, a burglar, or a
Wow.
murderer.
See,
Like,
that's really crazy. Because how are you on a topic of slavery when you have a delinquent in your house?
exactly. And women love to
Because
have sex with criminals,
we
burglars, and
do.
murderers, and
I feel like it's
pedophiles.
not. Ooh, mm,
Yeah,
pedophiles.
you know why I call them pedophiles? Because you got 16-year-old girls having sex with 35-year-old grown men at that,
Honestly,
picking them up.
and I feel like it's because of the simple fact young women, they always like they want somebody to express vulnerability with them, and people tend to take advantage of that. So it's just like when I need somebody and I'm looking to you for that, you should be grown enough, mentally stable enough, educated enough to tell me, this not the right thing for you to be doing. I'm this, I'm that, like, be for real about it. You know that ain't right. And you're gonna think about it for the rest of your life because you made that decision to do that with that person. And that's just no, that's very unjust.
Yeah.
But it's just like at the same time, some people are like that, but you gotta realize that people are a certain way because of the way that they have to evolve with their environment. A
Mhm.
person could grow up in an environment like that and just think it's okay. parents could teach that child that and they'll think it's okay. And then they'll come to a realization eventually early on that it's not okay. And if they don't, that's just a big yikes.
Right. Facts. Like, what's your thoughts on like women emasculating men, or shaming men, calling them weird, gay, or something wrong with them, or
Honestly,
like they
since
use
I
the
used to do
word
the
weird
same
a lot
thing,
though.
I
Well,
used to do the
listen,
same thing, so it's just like I understand, but it's like I did it from the point of view of me just joking. But I gotta realize that my words actually have meaning. But it's just like when people do say certain stuff about certain people, it's just like so what? Because what if that person really is? But at the same time, people use jokes and just little ignorant things to, distract themselves from what's really going on within. So if you gotta constantly be surrounded by negativity and drama, that you gotta put that out into the atmosphere and just be weird to people for no reason, I feel like you shouldn't be calling the man weird because you the weird one. And then it
exactly.
be the main people that don't even understand what they saying. They could say something and then think about it later and be like, why did I say that? Because it's like, why did you say that? You have no real answer. You can't even answer that yourself.
Facts. Oh, right. Like, okay, have you ever been like stalked by a guy on social media?
Oh my God, yes. And I feel like it's like, why do that when you could just talk to me? Like we could be friends, we could be
Like, how
cool.
you know he was talking to you though?
It's like you can tell, like the fake pages, the likes, the comments, like, and then it's like certain stuff you can tell when somebody is watching because it just stand out. They make it so obvious. They will make an account like I don't know, this is a random name. They'd be like Jaden underscore 66 something, and then they bio will say something random. I'll just be like, I know that's you, but I'ma just keep it pushing because if you want to watch, go ahead. It's really nothing to see.
Why you think? Because nowadays on Instagram, if you block somebody, they block them for creating future accounts. That's what I realized
Yeah,
too. They block.
that's what I like because it's just like if you want somebody out of your life, cut all contact with them. You don't need to be worried about what they're doing. They don't need to be worried about what you're doing, and that's really just how it's supposed to be. Because it's just like if that person is for you, they will show you that they're for you, and if they're not for you in that moment, they will eventually come to a moment where they are for you. And it's just like everybody has a assumption about how everything is supposed to be. Everybody has certain expectations and goals and fantasies and whatever, but life doesn't work that way. And if you think life works that way, it's okay. You can live in your fantasy world, but eventually you have to come to realize that life takes work, and you can't just be the problem just because everybody is okay with you being the problem.
Right. And facts. So like they have. Do you feel like when guys follow women on social media, like do you feel like that boosts their ego and look at those guys as fans? Like I got fans.
Um, yes, from certain women's perspectives, people do look at men as just being an object, something that you own, something that you can just pick up and put down whenever you need to. And I really hate that because a woman wouldn't want nobody doing that to her. So why treat a man any different? And I get it because in society, it's just like men are put up here or put down here. But it's just like at the end of the day, we are all right here. We're all equal. It's no, I'm better, he's better, she's better. We're all equal because, like, if you look at it, women are sexualized, men are sexualized. It's just like everything goes head to head, and there's always a backstory to everything. And I really don't like those type of women that treat men like that because men have feelings, and it's okay for men to be vulnerable to the point where they want to cry or express their emotions and stop being so nonchalant. Like I really hate how everybody has stereotyped men and how men are supposed to be and how women are supposed to be. Like that's why I really just hate society because everybody just put everything all into one, and it's just like why you can just let people live their life day to day.
Right. Do you feel like basically like for the most part, females like when they post thirst traps or they body, they posting it for like approval. They trying to get acceptance, validation from the
I
internet.
mean, sometimes, but it mostly could just be for the person. because some people like seeing themselves and like getting compliments and like the likes and the shares and the attention, but there are those people that are seeking that type of attention from people, and it's just like those are the people who probably didn't have what they needed when they was younger, so they grew up in search of what they don't need but they think they need. So it's less like that. So it's like I don't really judge people like off of what they do. I judge them off how they act personally because social media is all a game, honestly.
So
Like
what
people
about
could.
right? Let me say this though. So what about if she get in a relationship with a guy and she posting like her booty, her body,
Mm,
whatever, and the guy tell her that you shouldn't post that, and they would. And she said that's controlling, or you trying to control my life, or you being toxic. Who you think wrong in that situation?
honestly, I think both because it should be a conversation that should be had about that. I understand that you're in a relationship with that person, but you don't own that person. But if you know you're in a relationship with somebody and you're posting stuff like that, seeking more validation from other people, that's something you have to work on internally because you're seeking attention from people who is not the person that should be your like the main attention. And I'm not saying they have to be the main attention, but I'm saying you're with that person, so you shouldn't want to make them feel as though they gotta work extra hard to, keep you around or, just have that. So
Right, right. I look at it like this though, man. You right. You ain't. I agree with that part. But I look at it like this right here though. Those women can't complain about it. Can't find a good man if they posting their bodies on the internet.
right.
And likewise for the guys, if she's wearing leggings and tight ass shit to the gym or showing her body off on social media and the internet before you got with her, she's gonna do the
Right.
same thing while you with her. So
Right.
they ain't best just to get with her because you're not gonna change her. You can't change
No.
nobody.
Like it's gonna be the same agenda whether you like it or not. Some people just don't like to change, and some
You
people
can't
like
change
staying
nobody.
where they're comfortable. Like
First,
you can get with somebody. Let's say, for instance, you get with a drug addict. You try to wean them off drugs by giving them this, giving them that. They're already comfortable in the position that they're in, so you can't take them out of it unless they want to be out of it, and that goes for a lot of stuff.
so basically, would you say the reason why women like toxic men because they're comfortable with toxic men because they is
Yes,
toxic themselves?
yes.
So
But
that
I
means they
wouldn't
can't.
call them. I wouldn't call them toxic themselves. Some people get comfortable with toxicity because they
They
grew up
is
in
toxic.
toxicity.
You are who you attract. You're a mirror.
You
Relationships are
know what? You're
mirrors.
right. You're right. You're right.
They're
I take that
reflective.
back. You're right. Honestly, that just
Friends
that
are
just made me
reflective
think.
too.
True, and
Let me say
it's
this. I'm gonna
like,
let you go. I'm gonna say this right quick. I'm gonna let you go. Friends are reflective as well.
yeah,
Show me
I
who you is. I'm gonna show you your friends.
right.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't really have friends, so I really wouldn't know how I come off or how I'm perceived. So it's just like when I do get with somebody or is thinking about getting with somebody and giving them my energy, my attention, my whatever, it's like when I come across those people that are like me, it really just makes me look at myself and be like, you know what, you ain't doing what you need to be doing right now to be with this person, and they probably not gonna understand it, but it's just like this is another lesson. It's not nothing I can move forward in, and I gotta understand that people come and go, things come and go, and everything is not meant to stay unless it's for you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, everybody still people swear they got friends, but they ain't really
Right.
got friends. You got grown people 40+ year old think they got friends, but
Nah.
they really not.
And it's
But
so embarrassing too to see somebody claim they have friends, and the whole time those people was looking at them with the most ill intentions ever.
right, I think social media devalue the way how we look at friends or what real friends. They think because they got a lot of
Yeah,
followers, they got friends on Facebook or TikTok or whatever
right.
social media. They think they got friends.
And
When rarely you got
relationships
people.
too.
Oh yeah, yeah, right. So what's your definition of a real friend of?
Um, Considering I never really had that many friends growing up, it's just like I feel like a real friend is somebody who, real friends don't speak every day. Like I'm gonna just put that out there. Real friends do not speak every day. And real friends do not communicate every single day. But it's just like my definition of a real friend is somebody that I know that I could go to, check in on them. They check in on me. We cool. You know, we go out. We have fun. You know, that's that type of person. Somebody I can be vulnerable with. It's just like friendships are like relationships. If you can't trust yourself and trust that person at the same time, then y'all should not be friends. If you can't feel like yourself around that person, then y'all should not be friends. It's a lot of things that lead up to the way it's supposed to be. But people have a narrative where it's like, you supposed to act like this, you supposed to act like this. And it's like, I'm not going to count my actions because you supposed to already know what you're supposed to do. And I really don't like that because everybody, like I said before, everybody is going to be who they are, whether you like it or not. And those people that stick around, you know, that's how you know they're the real ones. But sometimes people stick around just to keep up with you. Now that's the difference. That's another story for another time. But yeah,
I mean, we can get into it now though. I mean, I see what you're saying though, because real friends is when you're in the tough and thick times though. Like,
right,
because I think just people got confused because they help you fight or they give you some money or give you some
right,
food. That's your friend. Those are
exactly,
acts of friendliness, but they don't mean your friend. Friends are when you're in thick or thin. You
right,
know, real friends really got your back when you going through it, and they don't spread your business behind your back either.
right,
You know, so I think like but you change friends every 5 to 7 years though for the most part. So you usually grow between 5 to 7 years, most people. So
right,
it's very unlikely that you keep the same friends if you're 25 to when you're 35.
right.
You know, but I don't know, man. Friends, what are friends? So okay, so do you feel like people should post their relationships on social media? Like, would you post your relationship on social
I
media?
mean, considering that I have been doing that, it's like now that I look at it, I feel like no, because social media is a place where everything is just all scrambled, and the relationship, well, the stereotype on relationships nowadays it's just so much stuff put into it where it's like is it supposed to be like this, is it supposed to be like that. People don't have no real sense of what a relationship